You're listening to the first 30 seconds of number 6 from the Lawson Dodds Wood album Numbers. We call them Numbers because, or each of the individual tracks was numbered because they started off as improvisations. Where they deviated from being pure straight improv was when Woods from Lawson Dodds Wood, Patrick over here, started to sprinkle fairy dust on them. In here, this is his bat cave. This is where all his musical magic and tweakery and cleverness happens. With his lovely shiny iMac at the heart of it all. Hello, Patrick.
Hi.
This track in particular is kind of interesting. Would you want to tell us a bit about how we recorded it in the first place?
Yes, I mean, this was the only one of the 7 improvisations where you came to it with a chord sequence. So there was an element of composition in this already. And what happened was I was after we'd recorded our improvising, which went on this track for about 8 or 9 minutes, I was listening to the tracks in the car, and I heard this melody. Which I played on the guitar as the first thing I played, and it was before I joined in over the top of you, and I sort of thought that could be the tune for this piece, and if this had singing on it, it would just be great. And I kind of started thinking, basically how to make it sound as good as it could. That's what I've been trying to do with all of them, to bring the best out of each one.
Now, there's a vocalist on this that clearly isn't any of us because it doesn't sound like anyone's being shot. Where did the vocal come from? Who is it?
He's called Gwyn Allen, and he's a friend of mine, and he came here as I did with Mark Lockhart, the saxophone player. I didn't let him hear anything, but set him up to record, and he just improvised with what he heard, and obviously no words. So the singing that he does, apart from that melody, is all stuff that he just made up. In fact, I think I might even have not used his singing of the melody in the end. I got Mark to play the melody, and probably I think I decided not to have Gwyn singing it. But so all the stuff that you hear of Gwyn singing is stuff he just made up, and I've edited that in the sense that I've just not used certain things. I haven't changed things around and moved them, so it has its natural flow.
Now, for those who kind of know about music editing, there's not that many edits going on there. This is definitely that you've kind of done a sort of gardening job on it and trimmed it and pruned it, rather than a flower arranging job where you've chopped it to pieces and reassembled it. But there's some more edits there, and that's Gwyn's. So Gwyn's vocal track has a lot more edits on it. What's going on with those?
He did 2 versions. He just did 2 run-throughs of the whole thing, and I have just simply taken things that I liked. As you can see, these little bits are the things that you can hear. So you can hear him singing now.
This is my solo, and this is just kind of live from the original take, isn't it?
Your stuff is all exactly as it was.
There's me at the bottom there. It says guitar. Oh no, guitar mic. Where's me?
Here's Steve.
Yeah, there's me.
So I don't think what at the end of the lines you see here are because I have taken stuff to try and make it shorter.
Condensed it slightly.
Although, I don't know about this.
Do you? it seems like an interesting way to work. Was it kind of? How was the experience for you of taking a bunch of improvised stuff and chopping it down? Because it sounds like it could be a nightmare if it was really unfocused. But
yeah, it was a nightmare. But it was great though. As well, in the end, it just took an awfully long time
right.
to make everything work properly as a piece of music. That's what we're always trying to do. So hopefully, even the things that are, you know, there's one that's very long, 15 minutes, and hopefully you're not going to get bored listening to it. That's the first thing, I think, to make sure that everything is interesting enough.
The first thing is to make sure that everything is interesting. That sounds like a very good start. Like, interesting enough. I think that's a very good start point for music. I think that if more musicians thought the way Patrick does, there'd be less tedious music out there. It certainly feels like that to me. One of the nice things about having played it in the first place, because might have heard in the other video that I said I went away for 2 months after we recorded it and came back, and the process of editing it was already massively underway because Patrick and Roy, who's down here, both got very excited about it and started work on it straight away. But what was great about coming back was that everything was still as it was before, just better. It was more focused. It was more tidy. It was what I described it very early on in the process as feeling like the job of a lighting engineer. That bringing kind of like if you've got a stage play going on and someone's lighting something, they're going to spotlight the bits that are important at any one moment. And Patrick has done that very much. That there are, even where he's done what on screen look like big edits, listening to this and to the original versions, which you will be able to hear if you go and buy the download of the album now before the CD comes out. You will get a lot of the original tracks, exactly as they were when we recorded them as a trio, without the overdub and without the edit. So you can compare the two, and it's a fascinating exercise because the essence of the tunes is still exactly the same. There's not, there isn't that feeling that he's kind of taken it and treated it like a DJ would, where he's taken one line and built a track around it. It's very much that the essence of it is improvisational, and I'm very grateful for Patrick's genius in bringing that out, and we hope you enjoy it. Thanks very much. We'll be back later with more
Back in a flash
video.
with more trash.